tables have turned. Back in the day, you were expected to learn these sciences, befriend the choppies in school. But now, if you're a mad science person now, the creatives are the people you want to befriend. That's how I'm getting work. I get people who just tell me, I don't understand this whole social media business. Creating content, it's art.
Yeah.
It's a performance.
Key advice that someone gave you early on in your career that you've carried with you till this day?
There's someone who told me, never stay in one place for more than 2 years.
You get comfortable.
You get comfortable. Stay 2 years, leave. You'd rather leave than come back. You'll be more attractive when you go and learn new things and come back. But if you stay there, you'll see new younger people coming in. They are making way more than you just because they have new ideas. So even just in my career, even now, I don't want to be the same. So constantly evolving.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of A Letter to My Younger Self. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are joined with the ever so lovely Sue. Welcome to A Letter to My Younger Self.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for gracing us. I know you as Sue, but a lot of the people out there, I think, know you as the social insider.
Yeah.
And just a bit of a backstory. I met you a couple of years ago as an influencer manager for one of the brands that I've worked with. But then now, like I said, a lot of people know you as social insider.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your platform and what it's all about.
Yeah, so I am Sue for many people off the internet, but on the internet, I am the social insider. I teach and tell stories of people like you, brands, and just the social media space. And the name is inspired by just my life as an insider. I've been an insider working for brands, managing influencers, so I can't tell the secret. So yeah, that's why I created the platform.
What does a basic day as a social insider look like?
Oh, interesting. I think I consume a lot of content. You can't do this my job without
it.
being everywhere. So I consume a lot of content. I'm probably scripting, coming up with ideas for what I'm gonna shoot, teach. Then I have a community. I don't have very many followers, but the followers I have, gold. So yeah, they have a lot of need. The bulk of my followers is of upcoming content creators. So want to know how to start, rate cards, all these things. So probably some DMs, maybe some consultation sessions, a meeting here and there, maybe with a business that wants to work with influencers or wants to get into the space on social media.
Yeah.
Something in the life.
All right. So as I was reading your letter, there was a couple of things, actually more than one thing that I didn't know about you and would have never guessed.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into it and give any spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you a chance to read the letter first and then we can get into it.
Okay. Dear Sue, you're in your sweet 16 in a school full of very bright girls. I know deep down you're worried about your grades and what your future life will look like, but I want you to know that God does not waste any opportunities. So hold your head high and trust the process. You're good at many things, just not books, and that's okay. You will see. Your creativity and love for art will lead you to photography and blogging. You'll end up working as a brand and social media manager for a rich lady who will give you the freedom to be creative with her money. She'll even fly you to SA to help her create. And that creativity will give you an exciting opportunity of managing hundreds of other creatives, some of who are celebrities, and you'll throw some of the most creatively themed bashes in town, surpass your targets at work, and even get an MVP award. This success will give you the confidence to start your own creative business, giving advice to other creatives, creating art, and being an industry leader. So wipe those tears, honey. Put your worries to rest. Your future is so bright, it's blinding. Success is not a one-size-fits-all. You're a rock star. Rock on.
So I love that in your letter you mentioned, you're good at a lot of things, just not books. And that's okay. Because I feel like, especially for us who did 844, they really put a lot of pressure in being very good at the math, science, the English, and not so much the creative things like the art and the sport. And it was, to be successful and to get a lot of money, you had to be good at, the math and the sciences.
Yeah.
You were good at the ETCs. You were going to, and you're going to be very poor. But you see, right now in the day and age of social media, things have turned around, and now the creative jobs are the ones that are one of the highest paid.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about that?
No, absolutely. And I think for me, I gave it my best, to be honest. It's not like I didn't try to read. I did my best, but also I was honest and true to myself. The arts were calling me, also because of my background, my parents. So yeah, I think I used to look up to people in the art. Like for me, I'd look at Hollywood, for example. I knew we tuko nyuma sana Kenya, so like, mom, chill. The world will catch up. Like, this is still lucrative, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like a big, you know, yeah. Like for my parents now, I know they see this space and they're like, okay, yeah, she kind of knew what she's doing. I'm happy. I think in short, I'm just happy to see what's happening.
And when you look back, your involvement in like the dance and the drama and the singing, what role would you say it played in the career that you finally ended up in?
Yeah, I think because now a lot of people are now, I think tables have turned. Back in the day, you were expected to learn these dances, befriend the choppies in school. But now it's the creatives who, like, if you're a mad science person now, the creatives are the people you want to befriend. That's how I'm getting work. Like I get people who just tell me I don't understand this whole social media business. So for me, I find social media is, I mean, creating content. It's art. Yeah. It's an art. It's a performance. Yeah. It's scripting. It's acting. It's all these things. So yeah, all these things I was doing back in the day, just being an early adopter, gives me sort of like mileage. I'm able to walk someone now from the beginning. I have that leverage.
Give you a lot of practice, and then now you're using it. And then now you finish high school and you get into the singing with Bensol. And Bensol is actually one of my favorite artists. He knows that, and so do, my followers. Just tell me a bit about that period, how you ended up, with Bensol playing for you and recording music.
Yeah.
How was that period like?
Yeah, so I mentioned I used to go for a lot of funkies. And in my region where I went to school, I was very popular in high school. So a lot of boys knew me, would go down. And it was like, I don't want to say dirty dancing, but it kind of was. So a lot of boys knew me. So he was in one of the schools we used to go to, Kagumo. So we became friends. And became friends even after. So me and my singing group, in fact, Benso, I didn't even know he could sing. I knew he used to play music.
Yeah.
In fact, he got the highest A in music in our year, in the whole country. Like is the point. Yeah. So anyway, just because of that friendship, he joined us at KNT, playing the guitar for my girl group. Yeah, then he morphed into what he is now.
Yeah. Did he also play for you guys, the song that you guys recorded?
No. That one, the song we recorded, we first we won. There was like a competition in high school. We won, then got to. No, actually, he did. It's called Stage. He did. Yeah, he did.
What are the artist names? I know we want to go and Google and look for the song.
It's on Dundo somewhere. Yeah, it's like a sweet song. Yeah. One of us plays in. She's now like a karaoke musician. She's at Social House and all these other places. So one of us at least is still singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said the name is called Stage.
No, the song is called Stage, but the group was called Candy Voice.
Candy Boys.
Yeah.
We're all going to go and search and look for. We're going to make sure you've written the name of the song.
I actually have pictures with Bensoul back in the day. If you want, I'll share if you get put pictures.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then take us through a bit about on your early career journey, because
Yeah.
it also seems like there is a lot to unpack over there. There is the writing, there's blogging, there's photography, and then there is YouTube. Before YouTube was, as big as it is right now, and everyone has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So what came first, and how did it lead to the next up until opening a YouTube channel?
Yeah. So I did journalism. I did want to be on TV, but in fact, I was thinking about it today, and we had like 0.5s in my class, point cheap. So when we got to specialize, I felt like, hey, I'm not pretty like this girl. And I thought they'd select broadcast as their major. So I ended up doing PR just because, that's I thought. So,
But wasn't it a thing? I've heard stories.
Yeah, it was.
Of especially back in the day.
Yeah. 0.5 back then. Like you had to be very light and
Be on TV.
So anyway, majored in PR. But then I found the internet. I went deeper into the internet, and even before I graduated, I didn't want to be employed. I told my mom I was tacky. So I convinced her to get me a camera and a laptop, and I started blogging. But so I had it was actually quite successful. I used to, it said fashion, kidogo, thrifting. I loved thrifting, so it was a lot of vintage clothing. Then my faith, I introduced my faith. So anyway, I had experience with WordPress, the backend, etc. So I felt a bit of pressure because people were getting jobs. And back in the day, I didn't understand about Google Ad. There was not so much information about how to monetize this blog. So the pressure led me to get a job, just because everyone is getting a job. My mom was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This thing of yours is, So I just applied for a writing job. In fact, I remember I didn't send a CV. I had no CV. I just told the guy, I have a blog, I have this amount of readers. I think I can help you. And that's how I got the job. So writing started like that.
So actually the blogging and the photography came first, then writing. And then now how did you get into YouTube?
Oh, YouTube. No, YouTube was still in the writing.
The
same era of the blog. Yeah.
What did you use to vlog about?
It was YouTube, which wasn't much. I think I did like a natural hair tips. I didn't even have the best natural hair.
Really? Then I'm looking at your hair and I'm like, wow.
You're a candle.
And it's like, what on a real candle? Hey, we are struggling.
So that, I think maybe like 3 videos max. Max. There wasn't much there. To answer the question,
So was it, if it wasn't the vlogging, what was it exactly that now led to the connection between you and the rich lady?
Oh, I see. It was the blogging. I used to take my own pictures, writing, etc. So the rich lady is the fashionable stepmom. I don't know if you are gonna ask, but so I wanted to specialize in photography at some point. But I don't know if you remember, back in the day there was like all this Insta-made photography. At some point was like what being an influencer is right now.
When Tapis was also a photographer
that era. So I had a camera. I thought I could be a photographer. We used to do town meets. You take pictures of people. You're able to build your portfolio like that. So I thought that would be the path. Also because I wanted to create like stories with my photography, costumes, sets, etc. So I figured I needed to shadow someone who was already in the space. So I reached out to a couple of photographers, and Charles, I'm sure you worked with the Royal Reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave me a chance to just shadow him. I told him, maybe I just want to, I'll carry your props, your thing. I just want to learn. So, and he still used to give me like transport money.
Yeah.
Then one day he told me, oh, I have a client who is looking for a PA. Would you be interested? And I'm like, bro, Mr. Kiku employee, what tena? This was after my writing job.
Yeah.
He was like, no, it's part-time, just, just see how it goes. And that's how now I met this client who was fashionable stepmom.
Okay. What exactly would you do for her?
Yeah. So it started first as a PA job, but once I got in, I was like, no, we need to do more. There's so much. You have so many shoes. You have all these things. I can take pictures for you. I can. So she just wanted an assistant who could also write
So for blogs.
for the blog, and also now her social media, just posting, etc. Yeah, but I actually opened her YouTube channel. I had a camera, so I told her, when you're going to the gym, call me. I'll come record. I didn't even have a tripod. It was a shaky video, but we posted it.
Work.
Yeah.
Then how did the essay trip come to be?
I see. So she wanted to venture into image consulting and needed to go study. So her course was being offered in essay. So she took me there also to create content. Yeah, that's how we ended up there.
Now that's really nice to hear. The whole time you're speaking, I'm like, how many times then did we interact? Because I know I have a phone number saved somewhere in my phone, Fashionable Stepmom PA. And I'm wondering if it's your number that I saved many times. Multiple different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really tricky to think about.
Yeah.
But then after that, then now is when you ended up being the influencer manager.
Yeah.
Do you mind mentioning the company?
No.
Yeah, so that was at Jumia.
Yeah.
So then how did that opportunity now lead to?
Yeah. So I feel like in every space, there's always a ceiling someone reaches and you feel like
something like,
yeah, what's next? So I had reached my ceiling with Kathy at the time. Yeah. So yeah, so I ended up applying for this job I saw on LinkedIn. I didn't even know it was a job to be an influencer manager. It was like, so this thing I've been doing, like there's a career for this. Yeah. So in fact, during my interview, I think the fact that I was managing an influencer, I didn't know I was managing an influencer. I just knew I was a PA, social media manager. Yeah. So they were really talking about like the work I was doing with, oh, we like what you're doing, this campaign. Yeah. So anyway, that's how I ended up getting that job.
And how was it like managing influencers? And I'm guessing even meeting a few of your fame. How was that like?
I think for me, it was, well, I wasn't like starstruck like that. Also, I think because I'm a creative, I think
you had already interacted.
Yeah, exactly. Even like with Fashionable Stepmom, I think I know where there's an opening at Westgate that she had invited you guys to come. Yeah. So anyway, she has a lot of friends who have all the businesses. So sometimes I was required to reach out to influencers, etc. Yeah. So anyway, what was the question?
How has it like? It's okay.
Yeah.
Has it like working with the influencers?
Yeah, I had met so many of you. So I think now I felt like, like now I'm gonna give them opportunities. I felt nice. I felt like now they live and like me for something. I'm giving them money. So, and also being able to hire people I actually liked, whose content I liked. And I like to say I gave a lot of people their first opportunity. So yeah, it was fun.
And what was the most difficult part? I'm just curious. The most difficult part about managing, because sometimes we'd be a lot of us in one campaign.
Yeah.
So what was like the hardest part of it?
Of course, we're different. So kwa ground, sana vitu ni very different. So it's just personalities. I think I've worked with people of all sorts of personalities. I think the worst ones are like say a delayed payment, which didn't happen a lot, by the way. Maybe in fact with payments, and I know influencers complain about payments all the time. With Jumia, I know it was maybe your invoice was late, so it's corporate. You will miss that cycle. You have to wait till the next one. So in between that period, you're waiting, you're giving me hell.
Yeah.
Yet maybe it was your fault. So I think it's just how the interaction of how they manage any disappointment or any delays, threats, all things. And I'm like, on Instagram, you wouldn't say this person like this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd say for sure, I mean, we loved working with you. And like you even said, you were good at what you did because you received the MVP award.
Yeah.
And I remember even when you told us that you were leaving Jumia, like the group was filled with so many heartfelt messages.
I screenshot all of them.
Yeah. So clearly you were good at what you did and we loved you for it. What was the point that you decided, you know what, it's time to now break away and do something else and get into now being the social insider?
Yeah. I think as creatives, I don't know that's a problem, but I don't like mundane tasks. Unfortunately, mundane tasks. So Jumia, let me say my job there, the fun times were very few. You know, the bashes, that's where it came alive.
And bashes really bashed.
Oh my God, they bashed a good one. Yeah, those campaigns are what I felt, this is now me. But the rest, the everyday is what, so I think I just wanted freedom even financially. You know, unemployment sometimes what they're offering, that's just it. And all their the time is for them. So I just wanted to open myself up to what could be out there. Yeah.
And when you look back and think of 16-year-old Sue who you were writing writing to, what do you think she'd think about your achievements and, you know, the whole process and the different career paths that you've taken through?
Hey, I don't think she thought she knew, she hoped and she sort of knew, but I think the journey is just very surprising. And I think there's a verse that says God will do exceedingly abundantly, far above what you can ask or imagine. So I think that's what she'd say. She's like she knew what the end goal, but like the journey, mind blowing.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about now Social Insider and the business behind it, because at the end of the day, it's a business. And money needs to be made from it. How is it like building the brand, and what are some challenges that you've gone through?
Yeah. So of course, I think they say in this space, you need to have like some unfair advantage. You know, some people are pretty, that's the unfair advantage. For me, it's just all the things I knew. That was like my unfair advantage. You know, and even like competition, I was never afraid of any competition because I think in the space, I'm sort of maybe one of the pioneers of a thing like this. So now this is just the positives. Yeah, I had that leverage. So being able to say I worked with Wabosha, how many people can say they've had Wabosha? You know, how many people can say I had a campaign that cost all this amount, so this big event. So anyway, that's the beauty about it. But now I think the challenge of building this, I think now is just, I've always wanted to have you people on a platform like this, but the way I want it is costs a lot of money. So I'd say my growth is a bit slow just because of that. I know if I had you on my show, for example, a lot of people will know me. So I'm still sort of underground right now for the masses. So I think, let me say, financial challenges with like the ideas I have. Yeah.
What would you say would be some of the biggest wins so far when it comes to the Social Insider?
Ooh, biggest win. I think it's just how many people I've coached. I've had a session with. It shows they trust me. Now I've increased my rate, and plus I haven't even announced, but people are still going on my link tree and still booking and still paying. So I think that is the biggest win. It's just seeing people believe in what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get here and to move from, I guess, the writing to the blogging to, working with Fashionable Stepmom, there's a lot of networking that is involved. There's a lot of meeting people. What connections have you made throughout this process that you'd say are very key and important?
I'll be honest, I struggle with I don't know, making friends. Not really making friends, but yeah, I'm not the best. I'm not those people who, like, if I had say a bash, like 1,000 people will come. I'm not that person. But I think the connections, most of them are the ones, like now this is the connection we made it back in the day. But yeah, you see, I'm struggling because I don't know how to answer this question. But let me see.
But I guess it's okay because I'm actually happy you said that because I feel like I also struggle when it comes to making friends. Like, why can't it be as easy as it used to be when we were in the sandpit and you just come and you'll be like, "Can you be my friend?" Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay, and then your best friend.
No, I know. Like I'm stuck in my head. Like I want to maybe reach out. I want to say hi, but I'm just stuck in all these. What if they say no? What if? Yeah, yeah.
And when we talk about social media, yeah, it's a field that very easily today one thing is trending, tomorrow a different one is trending. And if you're not careful, you can just get lost and be forgotten and not be relevant, just like that. So what would be your advice when it comes to, staying ahead of the curve?
Yeah. In fact, I wanted to do a video about this. I have different accounts for creators in different countries. So just pseudo accounts. I'm just following like all this UK girl, US girl, South African, Nigerian. So, because if it's just your one account and you're following all, you might not see. Yeah, so I get to read the vibe, like what's happening in the UK right now. My explore page, I can see. So that's a tip. Like, don't just be boxed in just this space. Yeah, so I have all these accounts just to stay ahead of the curve. But also you need to evolve. I think, yeah, just as an advice, like I'm sure for you, you've been through all these transitions.
Yeah.
And if they say we jump, you jump. Yeah, so yeah.
I think you can't even avoid it because naturally in life, you're not the same person you were a few years ago.
Yeah.
And so, like, for even a person like me, been in the industry since like 2016, the content can't really remain the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you look at your journey, is there anything that you would change, anything that you would do differently?
The entire journey. I'd say no. However, I have a younger sister and I'm making sure that she doesn't have to walk my path. As a firstborn, I think I'm hard to be the one, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm making sure that, I have all the lessons. If you don't want a job, if you don't want to be employed, you don't have to. Yeah. So I wouldn't change, but I'd advise someone differently. Yeah.
What would you advise them?
Ooh. First, don't do a job because it like do work that you enjoy. Do work. It doesn't matter if it's trending. Like now I know everyone wants to be on social media. If it's not your thing, you never know. Maybe in the next 10 years, everyone's gonna be like an astronaut. We are all trying to go to Mars. Everyone is trying to build things. Like just be true. Do some deep deep work. Yeah. So do work that you enjoy. Be honest with yourself. Yeah.
What's one key advice that someone gave you early on in your career that you've carried with you till this date?
There's someone who told me never stay in one place for more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially like for employment. Because what happens is you now become you get into that mindset of the company,
You get comfortable.
you get comfortable. And I have found in corporate, stay 2 years, leave, you'd rather leave than come back. You'll be more attractive when you go and learn new things than come back. But if you stay there, you see new younger people coming in, they are making way more than you just because they have new ideas, etc. So even just in my career, even now, I'm constantly seeing. I don't want to be the same, doing the same thing. So constantly evolving.
Right. So before we wind up, we normally leave messages to our younger or rather older selves. So you spoke to your 16-year-old self.
Yeah.
So now I want you to think of yourself 10 years from now, and then think about something you'd like to tell yourself. And when you're ready, look at the camera and leave yourself a message.
Dear future Sue, I was not familiar with your game.
I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait to see you in 10 years' time and give you your message. I know it will unlock a lot of memories as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of our podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. And to the guys at home, thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys next episode. Bye.